Hi, everybody. It's Charlie from 4VZ Truth. I want to thank everybody who came on last night to support the show I did with Max Igan. There was a few loose ends that I kind of went back and I felt like it wasn't didn't really go the direction that I wanted it to go, only because I left some things undone. But one thing that kind of sticks out to me is the chat was very. I think there was a little bit of controversy over some of the topics that we were discussing, and you know, one of the things that I wanted to point out is, you know, I think it's important to have a system of belief that we view information through, and I'm a true believer that truth is truth no matter how you want to spin it. Even if you do spin it, doesn't mean that your spin is going to make it true. I just think that there's a correct filter of belief or bias. Now, it's very difficult to really express kind of the direction I want to go with this. But I've said this time and again on my channel that philosophy is really the key to unlocking certain mysteries. You can't just look at a body of evidence and unpack it without having a little forethought before you, because really you have to understand and know kind of, a little bit of culture, a little bit of, um, you need to have a little presupposition behind what you're saying or what you're looking at. Because if you don't, then you may miss something. I actually was talking to a good friend of mine from church. I haven't really been back to that church in like a year now because of the C-19 stuff, but uh, we just got reconnected at a small group I went to. And, I actually feel like, you know, having a little chat with him, we kind of exchanged. I sent him a couple videos of interviews I've done, um, and then I received something from him about basically how to properly interpret something, or really, it was we were talking about the Book of Enoch, and this guy was kind of talking about how they know that the Book of Enoch is not scripture. And now, when I was listening to this guy talk, he's basically saying that this is how we know it wasn't Enoch that wrote it, based on the, you know, post Alexander, uh, you know, time where Alexander's conquest. Uh, and, if obviously there's a lot of things that happened during that time with scripture. The Old Testament was still being written during that time. Now, I used to think that maybe that, you know, if it wasn't Enoch that wrote it, that it kind of throws out everything about the Book of Enoch. Now, it does claim to be Enoch. Now, one of the things that guy, and again, I didn't actually listen to the whole video. I'm about to go back and finish it, but it's making me think that, people draw conclusions before, they consider certain angles, um, such as, maybe this person that rewrote it, like a scribe or something. Scribes have been known to rewrite things and, maybe put a little skew in there, or a little spin in there, or maybe even they make it sound like they're telling a story of what that person wrote, and not claiming to be that person, or maybe even they claim to be that person. They're just writing it from the perspective of that time. Now, I don't know if that's what happened, but it kind of makes me want to consider that option because, what if maybe that the Book of Enoch being a pseudepigrapha is not necessarily discounting that Enoch didn't have anything to do with it. Like, what if Enoch laid the fundamentals down, and somebody came along later and rewrote it? Now, I'm not going to take that person's rewriting of it and throw it out like baby with a bathwater thing. Uh, what if the way that it was written was intended to be something where we're supposed to read between the lines, so to speak, um, and not just that, but maybe the information is complete in the way we're supposed to see it. But then there's always that thing when I'm reading scripture, when I start seeing scripture for what it is, you start noticing that there's things that are underlining or dual meaning, higher level meaning, you know, uh, written into the text. And unless you have an ear to hear or understanding, you won't ever really get it. So, um, I just wanted people to think about that before drawing conclusions about things. And really, this is kind of the idea, like what was happening in the text, or the chat, I should say. The chat last night, there was a lot of people getting real uppity about their opinions and their um, beliefs. And unfortunately, I feel like there's so many belief systems out there. It's easy to get caught up in belief, and irregardless of whether it's true or not. I feel like I want people to acknowledge the fact that they don't have all the answers, and that's the reason I had Max Igan on last night. That's the reason I am willing to look outside the box, because there's things about even my faith that I'm not fully aware of what God wanted me to realize about that. So, anyways, I'm parking, and I just totally like blocked somebody's door as I was parking. Anyways, all right. Well, I guess the bottom line is I want people to realize that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I noticed that our flag at work has a half mast, and I'm gonna have to look that up and find out why they put the flag halfway down. Kind of makes me wonder. Usually that means somebody important or prominent died, or something bad happened. We'll have to figure out what that's all about. Because usually my company doesn't do something unless it's very mainstream. I might be missing something. Anyways, so yeah, for those who were in the chat last night, I appreciate everybody talking, but it seems to me like people get at each other's throats because it doesn't suit their perspective. It's one thing to be dogmatic about something, but it's another thing to treat somebody like they're stupid or second rate, or maybe even uh, make it seem like the other person doesn't have. I mean, everybody's on their own little path of trying to learn things, and I don't want people to feel like they're I've lost, I think I lost like 5 subscribers or 8 subscribers or something after I posted that live stream, which is crazy to me because Max Egan's such a very popular guy, but I'm realizing now that I am causing people to think outside of the box too much, because obviously they don't like to have their feathers ruffled. So I don't want to ruffle feathers, but it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm gonna just call it quits for now. Getting ready to head into work again, and I only had a short time to chat with you guys. So I was just taking a 10-minute rant here. So I will talk to you soon, and appreciate you guys being part of my journey. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.